In this screencast, we're going to present Gaucho, a direct manipulation environment for software. Gaucho is written entirely in Smalltalk and runs on top of the Faro IDE, an open source Smalltalk implementation. This is the Gaucho environment. To the left, we can find the toolbar. The toolbar presents the operations that can act upon the current selection. To the left, we see what we call the Pampas. The Pampas is a two-dimensional surface which hosts the visual objects that represent entities that make up a software system. For example, in this particular Pampas, we can look at a class shape, a package shape, and also a method shape. Shapes are the concrete visual entities that populate the Pampas. Shapes are always available to the programmer for interaction and modifications. These interactions can be performed through a simple set of keyboard and mouse commands. For editing a method, we must first select the shape and later press enter. Now we can modify the source code of this method. Let's modify it, and for accepting the contents we press Command S. In the case we don't want to accept the contents, we just press escape. Now let's take a look at the interactions that Gaucho presents for a class. Class shapes display the attributes and methods that the class contains. In this case we can see that the class GMPampas has three attributes named Zoom, Last Shape and Selection, and contains 39 methods. We can scroll up and down through the method list and choose one method, and to expand it we should press Command O, and the method is expanded to the right of the class shape. Shapes also present toolbars, and these toolbars present not only information about the shape, but also allow to perform operations in the underlying class. For example, in a class we can add an instance variable or attribute, add a class variable, or add a method. Let's add a new method to this class. For that we should just simply press the add method button, and now we open a source code editor where you can type the desired method. Every Gaucho shape also provides the means for navigating and locating related source code artifacts. In this case, we're in a class shape, so we would like to look at the package of this class shape. For that, we just press the package icon, and the package shape is displayed to the right. We would also like to look for the references of this class in the system. For that, we press the navigation button called References, and the group of references is also displayed. In this case we can see that this class is referenced twice throughout the whole system. If we want to look at the hierarchy of this class, we just press the hierarchy button. This case is showing that it has 4 classes until the root of the hierarchy, which is proto object. If you want to further continue navigating, for example, let's look at the possibilities that a method allows for navigation. A method can be we can either search for the senders of the methods, which methods are calling this method, or we can look at the implementers, which are all the implementers in the system that implement the method name update extensions in this case. To conclude, we're going to show how a developer using Gaucho can locate test classes and run the test. We are going to locate the class rectangle and see if this class is referenced in any test cases. If such a case, we're going to run that test and see if we are failing or passing. For that, we're going to use the search widget, and we're going to type rectangle. As you can see, the name is auto-completed. In the case we found a match, we can press enter, and that class will be imported into our Pampas. Let's look at the reference of this class, and we see that this class is referenced in at least 2 tests. Let's open one of them, and we can see that we can quickly navigate to the test case where this test method is located. We can either run one test at a time. In this case we run the test1 argument, which is passing, or we can choose to run the whole test suite of the test case. In this case, the block closure test has 29 tests, which of 28 are passing and only one is failing. That's why the yellow visual feedback is provided.